Hey Tom, I just found this Coke can with this strain gauge installed on it. What can you tell me about it?
Well, this Coke can is actually an exercise we use in our training programs. We bond a 3-element rosette to what would be a thin-walled pressure vessel. And using the 3-element rosette, we can calculate the maximum and minimum principal strains and their direction. And from those strains, we can also calculate the pressure in the can or stress on the surface of the can. Now, because in the hoop direction the strains are the highest, that's the direction we would use. And instead of pressurizing the can, we depressurize it. We open the Coke can. This 3-element rosette gives us that opportunity. We've also got our wiring attached to it, soldered to it.
What type of wire is that? What is that?
That's our 330 DFB. We picked the 30 gauge wire because on a 3-element rosette it gets kind of busy next to one another, and the 26 gauge was kind of big.
Does it matter which way you orient the strain gauge?
Well, because it's a 3-element rosette, you will take your strains or stresses will be measured from grid 1. So it really doesn't matter as long as you know the direction of grid 1 and from that the reference to the angle of the principal strains.
So knowing the data we get from the 3 separate grids of this rosette, we can use that, you said, to calculate maximum and minimum principal strains and direction. And then if we've got the material properties for that aluminum can, we can also calculate stresses, right?
That's correct.
And then once we have stresses, then we can calculate the pressure that's inside of that can, right?
That is correct. Using the proper mathematical gymnastics, you can do just about anything. The professors love this in their college courses because it's a real
World example.
real world example. That's it. A real world example of how a strain gauge can be used in a real pressure vessel where you might not know the real pressure in here. The secret is how much PSI does Coke put in here?
Ah.
We're not telling.
And does it matter if you shake it? That's
We're
the question.
We're not telling.